there's a reason maybe that product's doing something different, and you can maybe try to elaborate that or do something better again, which then you could then come in and take some of that market share or even overtake that competitor.
Alright, what up Conquer family? So the other week I did run a poll in our Facebook community asking what exactly you would like from us. We're obviously here to give you as much value and content to help you on your Amazon journey as we can. So what you guys did vote on were you would like to know any, more research hacks or research tips. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to give you 3 research tips. So starting with that, Chris, what is your research tip?
And this is an awesome subject, so thanks to the guys that voted for this one. But basically, we believe research is so crucial. So this is awesome. Every sort of tip you can add to your little toolbox is going to help you along the way. So one of the tips I like to use is we're going to teach about looking for the 3,000 average revenue when you're trying to find products. Now, sometimes you can find one product that's in there that's maybe doing 10,000. And then no other competition. So the average revenue is going to come down a little bit, but there might be an opportunity to come in there and actually get into that niche and start selling that product. So what you're looking for is if you do see an outlier, maybe one product's doing 10, 15,000, but the other 10 or 20 are only doing 1 or 2, there's a reason maybe that product's doing something different, and you can maybe try to elaborate that or do something better again, which then you could then come in and take some of that market share or even overtake that competitor. So that's a really good one to look out for. So don't always see the just under 3,000. Make sure there isn't an outlier, because there might be a big opportunity there that other people are missing.
Yeah. So just on that, Chris. So an example might be you've got the Zonguru Chrome extension loaded up. You've got a niche there. There's 1 or 2 top competitors doing 5 to 10,000 a month, and everyone else in the niche might be doing 0, right? Mm-hmm. So that average, which is what we're looking for 3,000, that average might be below 3,000, which according to our workbook means it might be a bad niche. But that's what you're saying, the product research tip is the opportunity is there's those 2 sellers, and you might be able to come in and directly compete with one of those 2 sellers only, because there's more, you can come in, there's only those 2, right?
100%. And
there's
also
less competition.
You can actually then have a look at those products, and this is good for understanding visual differentiation, seeing how things are changing. What is those 2 products doing differently to be ahead of everything else? Is it something to do with color? Is it what the offer they're doing?
Might be they've got a shitload of reviews on it. So you could really just specifically come in and compete with those 2 sellers, which is an opportunity, right?
And not only is it an opportunity, it's just a great way to learn, to understand, to have a look at competitors and analyze it and digest what you can do differently and how you can be better than everyone else.
It's a great one.
But I guess that's my number 1 tip. Do you want to go next, Eric, or Florence?
Well, I just wanted to actually add to that is that when you all start looking at all the different data points that you do find, whether it's the Zonguru Chrome extension or a niche finder, keywords on fire, when you start looking at all those data points, you'll very quickly, know what you're looking for, and then be able to kind of analyze them and have thoughts outside of what we just teach you, this is good, this is bad, but this is, here and there. So the more exposure you have to looking at those data points, understanding what is, good or successful versus bad, and then being able to make your own decision based on those data points as well.
And that comes with time, right?
Exactly, it does come, with time. All right, next, Eric.
Yeah, cool. All right, so my tip is using the Ships from Australia tab on the left-hand side on amazon.com.au. So when you're on the Amazon website, on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of data points what you can select and deselect, right? Filters, exactly, that's right. And one of them is Ships from Australia. Now, a great tip is to filter by Ships from Australia, because then you're going to find exactly which of the competitors are actually in Australia, so therefore they have quick shipping times, right? Now, what I love to look for is, in niches, products that are doing really well but aren't shipping from Australia. So if they're shipping from the US, that means that their shipping time might be 2 weeks, it might be 3 weeks. And that's a long ass time, and customers want their products fucking tomorrow or the next day. So the opportunity is that if these American sellers are doing really well, we can come in, ship from Australia, and beat them on time alone. So that's a great tip, is to use the Ship from Australia tab. So what I would recommend is in a niche, firstly having Google Chrome extension open, looking through them all, looking at the competition, the competitors, the sellers, and noticing which ones are there, and then using the ship from Australia filter. So then you can really see, okay, that seller wasn't from Australia or whatever, and then you can really spot opportunity that way.
Yeah.
And you can beat competitors on shipping
time,
time
is it though? Because also, like, you'll see when you guys search this, you'll see shipping costs X amount of money.
Right,
so you're not only beating them with delivery at a faster rate and the customer gets their product earlier, you're also going to cut down on the expenses, and they might see that when they get to checkout, an extra $40 shipping, and they're like, wait a minute, they might go back, find your product, free shipping. That's a no-brainer to me.
But what is actually even more exciting is that if you find a product and that product is being coming from America and they're successful in Australia, and someone is willing to pay $100 for this product just because of the shipping, that's even a bigger opportunity.
That is the opportunity, right? Then come in with the same or better. You'd want to obviously have a better offer, better product, and then just beat them on shipping time, have everything you're listing completely optimized like we teach in the course, and boom, game over. You beat them.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my tip.
Awesome. All right, so I'm Les. So number 3 tip for today is that obviously we know that the American marketplace is phenomenal, and I love to use the American marketplace as inspiration of what could happen in Australia. So we know how amazing the US marketplace is. So what I actually would like, or that I like to do, is I go onto Zonguru, I'm in the niche finder tool, and I go into niche finder and I actually select the US marketplace. And when it goes to average revenue, I like to pump the numbers up in there. So I'm talking about like 100 grand, 500 grand on average. And then I see, you can, pick your categories there as well. And then I see what products they are suggesting there. And then I click over to Amazon.com. And again, with the Zonguru's Chrome extension, and you can see what products are really killing it, smashing it on the US marketplace. And then I get that product, go onto the Australian marketplace at amazon.com.au and see how it is performing in Australia. Is there demand here? If there's a little bit of demand here, is that product being sold here? Could I possibly sell that product? Because usually what's successful in America does follow to Australia. It's not always, but a lot of the time, and it can be a great way to look for, use as inspiration really, that US marketplace.
It's a great way to find visual differentiation too. Finding designs. If there's a niche in Australia that's doing pretty well, like there's demand there, over 3,000 average, and then you go into US and there's a bunch of products there and they're doing really, really well, hundreds of thousands a month, but those specific designs aren't in Australia yet. Well, it's an excellent opportunity to bring them straight over, right?
We had a conversation the other day about that product that we were looking to ourselves, but obviously, the third best product in the US was doing the best in Australia. So there was still two above it that weren't even in Australia. So
that's right.
That's another way of, it might not be that product, but you might be able to correlate it with Australia and be like, wow, this one's not even there, or once again, they're doing that slightly different, like I said, visual differentiation, and then bam, you have a product idea. So
that's it.
Also, you do have to be careful just to allow people, when you're looking into these later on, that you are allowed to sell them in Australia, because some of these brands will have patents and stuff.
Deals with their suppliers.
But you can check that later on. Just be careful, just to be aware of that, guys. It may happen. So before you go ordering a massive order and then sorry, you can't sell them here, you do check that later on.
Yeah. All right, so three
tips.
Research tips,
Let's just quickly recap on the tips. So Chris' tip was
looking for outliers when you're looking for a product. If there was one or two products that are doing really well, but there's no competition and it brings the average down, it doesn't always mean that it's a bad product or bad product needs to be in. Using the Ships from Australia tab on the left-hand filters as well to see if your competition is in US or Australia, and then beating US competition that is doing well on fast shipping time.
Yeah, awesome. And then using the US marketplace as inspiration of what can happen in the Australian marketplace for you. So, awesome, those are 3 tips for you. Do let us know if this kind of content, this kind of video is what you guys want to see more of. As I said, we want to give you as much content as we can to help you on your Amazon journey. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.